Welcome to DV Details. Today we've got this Triumph Bonneville 900 looking absolutely saucy with the all-terrain cafe racer kind of feel. This is in for a deep clean and protect for its winter, so we're going to get things all nice and clean, all nice and lubricated and all nice and protected for the winter. Come and check the process out. Always give her a pre-rinse. Thing with motorbikes is that people get scary about all like the electrics and what have you, and it's the same principle with car engine bays, that 9 times out of 10 all of these covers, you know, are protecting the water from all the sensitive areas. So a light misty spray from a distance isn't going to do too much harm. If you're going to penetrate the water in like sensitive areas, then yeah, I'm sure you're going to get some water into connections and you're going to come into issues. So use your noggin, give it a light spray over, and just think about it, and you'll be absolutely fine. Citrus multi-purpose cleaner, secret ingredient of getting rid of all the greasy, mucky areas nice and clean without stripping it too far and damaging the surface underneath. Naturally with bikes they are, you know, open and bare to the elements, so it's going to be a little bit grottier than your car would be. So yeah, this stuff is the magic sauce. It's going to make everything a lot easier. We're going to up the dilution just because it's a little bit greasier and muckier today for us. And the process is exactly the same as an engine bay. And if you don't know how to clean an engine bay, watch this and then watch the engine bay video that comes out soon. Oh no. Yeah, use citrus, he hasn't got much left of. Shock in my life. Today's aim with this video is I'm going to be positive because I ended up being, I am a moaning moose at the moment, so I really don't want that narrative of me as a person. Little bit of, I will be honest today, boys and girls. This is a caustic TFR based snow foam just for the initial deep clean, as it's best to use pH neutral cleaners with coated and protective cars. But if it's its first deep clean, normally around the winter time, it's best to get the slightly aggressive chemicals. The great thing about this Jenny Chem Maximus, I want to call it at the top of my head, is that it's got a great dwelling time, a great cleaning power, and it doesn't actually damage the surface, but it's a lot stronger than citrus, so it's a nice happy medium of a good thorough clean without you getting yourself into any pickles later on down the line. People ask quite often, what dilution? My answer, a little bit of this and a bit of that is your dilution, okay? You can overthink with dilutions. If it doesn't do the job, you need a bit more, and if it's done the job too well, then use it a bit less. There's no right or wrong answer. But especially if the boys are in at the weekend and they go smashing the chemicals in and wasting it, then it's obviously going to eat into your profit. So use your noggin. Oh, you shouldn't snowthorn bikes. It's bad for them. You get into electrics. 90% of modern bikes have all got water resistant casings around the connection, so you haven't got any issues. And we're going to be blow drying it indoors anyway, so everything's going to be bone dry. So to all the haters, don't worry. If it works, keep doing it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Tip of the day. Right, coffee's kicked in, food's kicked in, fresh bucket of water. What do you use where? It's very simple. You want your older style brushes for the dirty areas, and you want your newer, softer style brushes for the intricate, soft areas. Be aware whether you've got satin finishes, gloss finishes, you know, again, just be super bike aware as to what tool you're using in that particular area. And yes, there's no right or wrong answers. You can never have too many brushes, but just make sure that you use the right brush to get in the right area, and you don't want to make any worse damage than what you've got already. hardest thing in this life is making sure that what you touch one side is you touch the other. Scary thing with bikes is you agitate all this water and then you go, oh, is it going to start? No, I'm joking. Of course it's going to start. What brush am I going to use next? It's almost like Mary Poppins' handbag in there. I hate spokes. I hate them. I don't hate many things in the world, but just spokes. Who, like, why? Why can't they make them spokeless? Idiot. I forget bike people are lovely people, they're quirky people. They always it's like their baby, and I forget that people into bikes treat their bikes like cars. And in my head I'm like, yeah, but it's a bike, it's got two wheels, but they still love it like a car. And I'm like, oh yeah, sorry mate, yeah, I get it. Every time I see a bike, yeah, I want a bike now. 2 years later, I still haven't got one. Worse than a kid, cool. Cool. She's a mucky puppy. Worst thing about bikes is that when it's all soapy, you just have to trust your gut as to whether you've done everything. And you get it inside and get it all dry, and then you go, oh, I missed that really obvious part. What idiot would miss that? Give it a rinse down. Cool. Bit of tar and glue, as it's quite a mucky. Well, she's not. In the scale of things, she's not actually that mucky. But I'm just going to leave it on there for 5 minutes. I say 5 minutes, that's a lie. Like 45 seconds, just to dwell. How the hell am I going to get in there? Oh, like that. Getting in places you never knew existed, bruh. Nope, wrong brush. Right brush. Give that a rinse down. Cool. Then just like a car, we'll spin the wheels because they look great from this angle. Always flip them 180 to make sure I got them evenly cleaned. Greasy work done, wheel span, final rinse. I'm a little bit 50-50 as to whether to put any rinse aid on it, just because it doesn't really do well with the plastics, but I think it's going to help with drying the thing. So yeah, I'm going to put a little bit on just to ease the drying time. Starting to spit, brilliant. So let's get rinsing. Now we're all washed, now we're all deconned, now we get drying. And once we get this bike absolutely bone dry, we can then apply our long-standing protection. This will be focused on the leather, will be focused on the tank, and all the intricate areas that doesn't touch any of the mechanical parts, because if you have any silicone or any lubricated products on the wrong parts, we don't want to make it a hazard for the rider on his way home. So avoiding brake pads, brake discs, chain, and what have you, just make sure that you've covered your rear end for any kind of complaints moving forward. Let's get drying. Now the bike is all washed and all dried, even though it felt like it took forever. We're now going to leave it to drip dry for 5 to 10, maybe 15 minutes, just to make sure all the water falls out of all the crevices. Once this has been done, we'll then apply the long-lasting protection to the tank and the main obvious kind of areas. We're quite blessed with this vehicle that it's got a lot of satin and matte finishes, so we're quite restricted, apart from dedicated products, as to what we can use on them, but we'll still do what we can and get this winter looking fresh. Long-standing protection, LSP. Today's choice is going to be Infinity Wax's Turbo 6. Why? It's a great standalone single layer applied product. It's super easy to use. Yes, you've got to mind the application that you double cloth it so it's not too greasy and leave too much residue behind. But the water repellency is insane, the gloss level is insane, and it's a real nice, long-lasting product that will see you through the winter easily, be it your car, be it your boat, or be it your motorbike. Let's get applying. This stuff, it's almost like maple syrup. There we go. Oh, that's way too much. That could have done about 4 cars. Apply it on. Super easy to use. Gonna leave it on for, just because of the conditions and the weather, we can leave this on for like 5 minutes, to be honest with you, just to cure and bake off. So then it bonds to the paintwork and gives us a nice deep luster. I'm not gonna do that blind, so I'm gonna come around the other side now. This is only designed for gloss surfaces. I would not recommend it due to, I assume it's silicone content, SiO2 content, that it is not compatible with matte and satin finishes or seats or moving parts, because this has got a lubrication in there which is gonna cause issues. Just my disclaimer. There we go. That's all applied, you wouldn't even know, and we'll buff it off in 5 to 10 minutes. Just catching up with the world. Phone's pigging its absolute nuts off today. Nice, clean microfiber. Massage it. How do you know if you got it all off? You should hopefully see that we've got a kind of like a film, dull appearance. It should reveal nice, deep shine. If it's any patchy in any areas, I'd kind of work in a left to right motion and up to down motion, just to make sure that you buffed all the product off. If failing that, you think, oh, I don't know if I've got it all off, a simple spritz of a quick detailer. Let me grab some. Of course, it's an auto finesse bottle, but it does actually have Infinity Wax quick detailer. Really high evaporation, just so it picks up the last of the wax and leaves an even slicker finish. Let's give it a go. I always like to spray it on the cloth, so then when you're applying to the panel, you haven't got any excess to worry about. Yes, people can spray freely all over the panel, but I don't have to worry about it going on areas that I don't want it to. There we go, puppy. Shiny boy. She looks good, yeah? Right, I'm gonna get some snaps on my phone, put it to the Instagram story, because it's such a manic world that I've forgotten to take photos and process of this. This has been the focus. Phone's been ringing. Oh. Anyway, positive.